everyone, and welcome to Science Lab. The science are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming, and every day we are looking at some of the great signs that are happening around us.
Today we are going to look at some of the end-time signs happening in Europe.
France's historic and modern church-state cooperation. The strained link between church and state is slowly being restored in France. Secularism is a prized constitutional principle in France.
French President Emmanuel Macron characterized it this way at a New Year's reception in January 2018 before a crowd that included senior members of the clergy. This French secularism, which sometimes surprises our neighbors, is powerful cement in a country torn by so many wars of religion.
But coming to France in the near future is a reduction of secularism, an expansion of religion, and more war. To stubble at the moment, signs of this change are already emerging.
As the coronavirus crisis unfolded earlier this year 2020, Macron invited religious representatives to share their thoughts. The president of the Conference of Bishops of France, Bishop of Reims Major Eric de Moulins-Beaufort, responded with a 60-page letter to the president on the 3rd of June 2020, stating that church and state should work closely together in the interest of the common good. Moulins-Beaufort leads bishops that represent millions of French Catholics. France's church-state relationship has historically been marked by ups and downs, power struggles, wars, and the French Revolution. Macron knows this history well, yet even he pleaded for the restoration of the strained link between church and state at France's annual Bishops' Conference in April 2018. With Moulins-Beaufort's letter, both the church and state leaders in France are now vowing to restore this cooperation. In August 2019, Macron received Moulins-Beaufort for a 90-minute-long courtesy visit, as La Croix reported at the time. The subject of the meeting revolved around the reconstruction of Notre Dame, reception of migrants, relations between cults and the state, and revisions of bioethics laws. Macron is working closely with the Roman Catholic Church and seeks its input regularly on all these issues. These are small steps thus far, but it would appear Macron wants to revive this church-state relationship in France. Yet this relationship has a long history. Roman Catholicism became France's state religion during the reign of King Clovis. Cooperation between the French monarchy and the Catholic Church peaked under Charlemagne when the Pope crowned him emperor. Macron honored this history when he signed a new Franco-German treaty of friendship with German Chancellor Angela Merkel on January 22, 2019 in Aachen, the city from which Charlemagne reigned and which he is buried. What Charlemagne established had a lasting impact on France. The church not only guided the religion of the French, but also became the nation's largest landowner, the overseer of hospitals, the guide of its educational system, and the approver or denouncer of scientific research. France's nobility and clergy worked to secure one another's power, reputation, and wealth. The effects of this cooperation were also felt beyond Europe. Baldwin I established himself as the first king of the Crusader state of Jerusalem. In 111, Baldwin succeeded his brother Godfrey, who was appointed the first king of Jerusalem. The Church of St. Anne was built during the time of these crusades. On the 22nd of January 2020, Macron visited Jerusalem to hold political talks and attend the commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. During his trip, he visited the Church of St. Anne in Jerusalem's Muslim quarter in the Old City. Macron begins Jerusalem visit by underscoring France's history in region, was the Jerusalem Post headline at the time. The church building was given to France by the Ottoman Empire in 1856. France claims the church as one of 4 sites it owns in Jerusalem. St. Annie is called a Crusader church. Of all Macron's political goals in the region, he deemed underscoring this history most important. So much so that he furiously took a controversial stance to defend France's claims. Macron shouted at an Israeli security officer, "Everybody knows the rules. I don't like what you did in front of me. Go outside please." He emphasized that the rules have been in place for centuries and they will not change with me. Macron specifically planned this visit and was likely prepared for a possible confrontation with security personnel. He was deliberately resurrecting France's history of cooperating with the Catholic Church in the Middle East. Rather than memorializing the deaths of millions of Jews, he honored those who persecuted and killed Jews anciently, the Crusaders.
We have seen about the end time signs happening in Europe, and after seeing all these things, we definitely need a break. Don't go anywhere, we'll meet you after a short break. Welcome back to Science Lab. Signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming. We were seeing about the end time signs happening in Europe, and let's continue. France Church State Corporation reached its peak of brutality during the Protestant Reformation. As Protestantism swept through Europe, heretics were brutally tortured until they denied their faith or lost their lives.
But the reformers grew stronger and formed military alliances to fight back. The religious conflict culminated in the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648. French King Louis XIV resumed the religious wars in 1685.
France's close relationship with the Catholic Church became a major factor in the French Revolution. These various factors, the mutual dependency between church and nobility, the exclusion and persecution of religious minorities, and the monopoly of the church over various institutions, fueled the intense animosity toward the Catholic Church during the French Revolution in 1789 and its aftermath. Noted the religious literacy project of the Harvard Divinity School. During the French Revolution, the church was stripped of its possessions, rights, and privileges. What if Macron restores this cooperation? Such a move isn't without historical precedent. Under the Concordat of 1801, Napoleon unofficially re-established the Catholic Church as the French Church. Almost 1,000 years after the Charlemagne, Napoleon famously crowned himself emperor in Notre Dame in 1804, claiming supremacy over the church. Yet, this church-state unity didn't last long. In 1905, the law on the separation of church and state cut ties between the Catholic Church and the French government. Notre Dame was a landmark not just for Napoleon, but also for Macron. After a major fire burned the cathedral's roof in April 2019, Macron said, "Notre Dame is our history, our literature, our imagination. This place of all our great events, our epidemics, our wars, our liberations, the epicenter of our lives. We built this cathedral over centuries, raising it up and improving it. And I now state solemnly that we will, all of us together, reconstruct it. This is undoubtedly part of the French destiny." Macron rallied France behind its Christian heritage, stirring the nation to make that same heritage its future destiny. Macron even claimed it is his political responsibility to further the church's reconstruction. The cathedral symbolized relations between religion and political power, he said, adding that he believed the French state should take charge of its reconstruction. Macron even engaged in a debate how the future of the cathedral should look. Many clerics believed his involvement went too far, but he wasn't deterred by their criticism. Even though cooperation between church and state officially ended in 1905, it revived during the two world wars. Many Catholic leaders and institutions had been vocally anti-Semitic in the decades leading up to World War II, and many, though not all, supported the Vichy regime, which collaborated with the Nazi government and was culpable in the deaths of roughly 75,000 French Jews, wrote the Harvard Divinity School. It is right that we honor the marshals who led France to victory in World War I, Macron said, calling Pétain a great soldier, even though he had made disastrous choices during the Nazi occupation of France. Should a man with such a history really be honored? Macron may have made these comments because he too is cooperating with Germany today on a dangerous level. The Bible warns what happens when such cooperation occurs. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 10 prophesies that the Holy Roman Empire will be resurrected 7 times. Adolf Hitler led the 6th resurrection. The Apostle John saw this final resurrection of the Holy Roman Empire in vision, depicted as a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. God revealed the symbolism to him. The 7 heads are 7 successive resurrections of this beast-like empire. Revelation chapter 17 verse 1 and 2 show this empire is an alliance with the church, symbolized by a woman. This is an exact prophecy of the Holy Roman Empire, a church-state alliance. The final resurrection of this church-state alliance will occur in our day, and France is prophesied to be part of it. France is resurrecting the Holy Roman Empire. France defies America and Britain, allies with the Catholic Church, and empowers a German-led European superpower. While visiting the World War I battlefield of Verdun on the 6th November 2018, Macron called for a true European army, saying, "We have to protect ourselves with respect to China, Russia, and even the United States of America." A few years ago, it would have been inconceivable to consider a conflict between the European continent and Britain and America, but not in the era of Brexit and Donald Trump's presidency. The Bible is dogmatic that this conflict is coming, and it also predicts that the Catholic Church will play a major role in it. The European Union is morphing more and more into an empire with its own army and leadership. We are also seeing a push to increasingly involve the Catholic Church. In a March 2019 letter to European citizens, Macron called for a conference for Europe that would engage with citizens panels and hear academics, business and labor representatives and religious and spiritual leaders.
The Bible prophesies that 10 kings will rise in Europe today. Revelation 17 verse 12 and 13. This prophecy was written nearly 2000 years ago, and these 10 kings are rising in Europe today.
All these shows that what is mentioned in the Bible that are going to take place in the end times are taking place in our lifetime. We are living in the last days. Lord Jesus Christ is coming again very soon. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to tune into Science Lab next time.
And before we end the show, we would like to ask you a question. How many sites do France claims to own in Jerusalem? Option A, 4, option B, 3, and option C, 2.
Send us your correct answer to our email address sciencelab@angeltv.org. If you have missed any of these episodes, don't worry. You can watch it again and again in our Science Lab YouTube page. But don't forget to like, share and comment on the video.
And also ask your friends and relatives to watch the Science Lab so that they will know that we are living in the last days. Remember, signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming. Maranatha.